Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ogami.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you too, sir. Olariwaju Bega, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Jonathan, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining. Mr. Felix, good morning to you, sir. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right, I want to believe the audio is loud and clear. You can hear me loud and clear. Um, let's get started. Um, okay. Good morning once again. Good morning, all ladies. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, traders as well. And it's your first time today. I welcome you. Good morning to you too. Thank you for joining us. All right. Um, it's great to have you join us for today's edition of the morning market review. Of course, as a quick reminder, every day on this forum, we get to look at what's going on in the markets. All right.
Please, we can hardly hear you.
Okay. Let's see.
But it's loud and clear from here, from our end.
Oh, thank you very much. So that first audio, you may have to check your end.
It's most likely from
Okay.
your side. It's very clear here.
Okay.
Very good.
Very
Yeah,
clear
sir.
also.
All right.
I can hear as
Thank you
well
very
from
much.
Port
Thank you very much. So I'm going to have to mute everyone right now. We get to thank you very much everyone for the confirmation. It's very much appreciated, right? So I said on this forum every day we get to look at what's going on in the markets, all right, as it pertains to fundamental and technical setups. Okay. And then we also do this with the hope that we'll be able to pick a few entries and most importantly, trade setups and ideas for today and even for the rest of the week. All right. So let's get right to it without further ado. Usually, I like to start with the majors and then from there we start examining other peers that I have for us. And then at some point, we'll also be able to drop the asset that you all want me to look at so that we can analyze together for trade opportunities as well. I'm going to do that towards the end of the presentation. All right. And then I would also like to add that all of this is also done with the hope that when you are listening long enough, you are also able to come up with your own profitable strategies based on uh, the analysis of different speakers that you listen to on a daily basis. You are also able to pick ideas and then apply it to your own trading as well to even give you more win rates. Okay, so let's see for fundamentals. I think there's one news for 3 p.m. Let's see. Okay, this one right here, today, Tuesday, the 3rd day of June 2025. Uh, we had CPI proceeded earlier, and then uh, Bank of Japan Gov that would also be speaking. So we see some volatility for Japanese yen, 850, from 850, scheduled to speak from 850. All right. So we can expect to see some volatility for the JPY peers as a result of that speech, all right? But most importantly for me, 3 p.m. USD, we have the uh, job openings. We have the job openings, all right? Um, it's simply the number of job openings, just like the name suggests, excluding the farming industry. And then, of course, we know that job openings are a leading indicator of overall employment. Of course, as traders, we're interested in news around employment or unemployment, okay, for our trade decisions as well. Job creation is an important indicator of consumer spending, okay? So, 3 p.m., we're interested in that. And of course, actual greater than forecast will be good for dollar at that time, 3 p.m. Okay, so that's about it for fundamentals, all right? I'm going to stop this and then head straight to the trading platform. Just a second. All right, so I have the dollar index up, the dollar index. All right, you must have noticed too that I usually like to start from here, the USD index, because I believe to a large extent, once we understand the direction of the dollar uh, itself, we'll be able to apply this to the rest of the major pairs, especially. So I always like to understand the direction of the dollar. All right. And to start June, still quite fresh. We've only had one trading day yesterday, so it's still quite fresh. And then to start June, the DXY index is still showing some weakness. It's still quite weak. Okay. Um, of course, it's been in the midst of a prolonged downtrend, started from this 110 resistance, and interestingly, we've been seeing series of lower highs and lower lows, all the way to this 98 critical support level. Okay, it's 98 critical support level. Right. Um, Again, fast forward to here, it fails to close above 100.2. Fails to close above 100.2 here. This one failed around 102 resistance and then gave us lower high, then now creating a new low. Okay. I also remember that I highlighted what happened. I think it was sometime back in 2022. Yeah, here. Also, I highlighted what we got here. This triple bottom pattern, all right, at the same 98 price level. Okay. So that's why when price got here, I knew that this could be the bottom for USD index. And so far, of course, it's still trading above this, but it's been a struggle. All right. It's been a struggle. And overall, the USD index is still very much weak. All right. And if that's the case, what it means is that the likes of Euro USD and Pounds USD would be bullish, okay, from the current levels. All right. Of course, we still get to them as we go along. But overall, the USD index is still very much weak. All right. And then conversely, uh, what would uh, what would invalidate this bearish move would be if we now see a break above this trend line resistance first of all, and then especially 100.2 level. All right, so these are the levels that I'm watching in order to switch my bias to a bullish one. All right, now if you look at this channel that I have, I'm going to take in the lines so it's more obvious. All right, so I have this descending channel. You can see how price has respected this channel, trading between the trend line resistance and trend line support. All right, since it tested 110, all right, has been very smooth all the way down. Okay, so firstly, I'll be expecting price. If this is going to get bullish, I'll be expecting price to, number one, break above this trend line, break out of that trend line, and then especially break above this 100.2 level. And this also has to remain as support for USD index to get bullish. All right, I need to see a break above this trend line resistance, and then especially the 100.2 resistance level. All right, but as it is right now, it's still bearish. And then so far, there's no sign that we're going to get this. But of course, we must plan for all outcomes. All right, just in case. Okay, but have it at the back of your mind that a break above this 100.2 level is what is going to turn this into a bullish structure for me. All right, below that is still very much vulnerable, and then we may continue to see further downside. All right. So that's what I have for the USD index. So we now take that to the rest of the major pairs, starting with Euro USD. Okay. All right. So this is Euro USD. This is Euro USD. Of course, it's essentially the inverse of the dollar index. Okay, meaning that they move in opposite direction. All right. And for Euro USD, this is the 4 hours time frame. This is what it looks like on the daily time frame. Okay. Now, I switched to the 4 hours time frame because if you remember, you have been following us on this forum. You remember that we had this consolidation over a period of time between 1.14250 and 1.12750. All right, we had that consolidation phase, and for Euro USD, it has been, I would say, incredibly choppy since early April. Since early April, somewhere around here, it has been ranging, all right, ranging between resistance 1.14250 and support around 1.12750. Okay, we had this spike, and then prices back inside of that consolidation. Okay, even if you look at what we got here last week, if you look at what we got here last week, this move here, it started around 1.14250, fell all the way to 1.12750, and currently is now back. Of course, currently above 14,250 resistance. All right. So what does this mean? Remember, we started with the USD index, and then from our analysis, we discovered that USD index currently is weak. All right. So what it means is that we expect USD to continue to push higher. Okay. And again, price is now trading above that resistance at 1.14250. Price is currently here, 1.14284. Okay, a few pips above 1.14250. All right. So above this resistance, which has now turned to support because price is now above it. So above this support, it is bullish above that support. All right. What is going to turn this into a bearish scenario will now be if we see a growth back below 1.14250. But currently, price is above 1.14250, which we now expect to turn to support for price. Okay. So back to H4 to highlight it further. The same 1.14250 acted as resistance for price since early April. Okay, here as resistance, right here as resistance as well, right here as well. A few pips to look here, right here as well as resistance, and then fast forward to here as resistance as well. So currently, price is now above that level. Okay, which signifies strength. Okay, and at the same time, if you look at Euro USD for this pair, USD is the counter currency. All right, so above 14,250 support, it is bullish. All right, it is bullish. Okay, so let's see what we have. We may need price to give us some more bullish confirmations, all right, above 14,250. Okay, we need price to give us some more bullish confirmation. So at this current level now, I need to see some very convincing bullish move, okay, away from that support, especially if I see something like a bullish engulfing, all right, around the support area. Okay, then that would be my trigger to long above that support. But of course, if you are an aggressive trader, it may be a good time to jump right in for a buy and then target higher prices for that buy. But for me, I still need more confirmations. Now, this is a support level, 14,250, used to be resistant. Price is now above it, so I expect that level to hold as support. But right now, prices are trading around this area. This is the 30 minutes time frame, so I expect to see some bullish confirmations. Once I get that, then that will be my trigger to long Euro USD. All right. This is one that I'm watching very closely for that trade opportunity. Okay. And then again, in the event that price closes back below 14,250, then it's possible that we have a potential fake out on our hands. It's possible that we get a potential fake out of hands and then can expect lower prices. But for now, above 14,250, it's bullish. All right, it's bullish above 14,250. Okay, let me show us one interesting thing that also happened. I think it's on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so I'm going to take out this showing the line here. Okay, so on this 4-hour time frame, you see a very neat structure, created a high from that low, created a high from this low, and then we got a pullback, higher low, pushed higher, higher high. We got a shallow pullback right there, higher low, and then higher high, and then higher low, a new high, say, then this move right here. Now, if you look at this move, this right here, this here is supposed to be the support level, all right? Price pulled back here, created a new high, which is the higher high, all right? Now, of course, ideally, after this higher high, we also expect to see a new higher low for a move higher. But what happened? Price closed below that support level, right? Which in itself is also a fake out, right? It's also a fake out. So price closed below this significant level only to close back above it, right? So that's typical of a fake out. And then, of course, as a result of that fake out, we expect price to push higher. Very, very fantastic move right there. Okay, so it has now created a new high. So we have a higher high right there. All right. So again, ideally, you can also expect a pullback. Can also expect a pullback. Can also expect a pullback. But due to the current dollar weakness that we have, all right, that's why this support level now come into play. Okay, this level may support price for a higher push to the upside. All right. I'm actually taking my time to explain all of this because I expect this to present a fantastic trade opportunity, which we need to take advantage of. All right. So that's it for Euro USD. Now moving on to pounds USD. Moving on to pounds USD, similar to Euro USD. Okay, so for pounds USD again, this is the daily time frame. This is the daily time frames, the daily time frame. And then on the daily time frame, we got this bullish flat pattern, right? We got this bullish flat pattern. Price closed above it, broke out of that flag. Okay, let me zoom in so you see it clearly. See how price stayed inside of this channel, right? Here as support, here as resistance, here as support as well. And then finally, it broke out of that channel, all right? And then that gave rise to this bullish move, okay? Gave rise to that bullish move, created close to 300 pips right there, okay? Let me see what I quickly have. Okay, Victor says USD is very strong based on the currency strength meter. Okay, now like you said, based on the currency strength meter, but for me, in order for that strength to be sustained, in order for that strength to be sustained, right, I need to see price take out like I said earlier, take out this trend line resistance and then eventually 100.2. Okay. So that's what would turn the USD index into a bullish structure for me. All right. But below 100.2, I believe still vulnerable to further push to the downside. All right. And then also looked at USD now on pounds USD. Okay. Now this is the daily time frame for pounds USD. Initially, we got this similar structure here. This happened sometime in September of 2024. Okay, price closed above this significant resistance at 1.325, closed above it, only to close back below it. And then that gave rise to this aggressive sell-off. Okay, so fast forward to April of 2025, we saw a similar structure right there. Again, price closed above 32, right? And then closed back below it, right? If you compare it to this, very, very similar, only that in this case, price closed back above 1.325. And that in itself, the fact that that happened is a bullish scenario, okay? And then eventually it gave us a bullish engulfing pattern back here, all right? It gave us a bullish engulfing pattern. Now, this bullish engulfing pattern was a trigger to long pounds USD at this time. And interestingly, it gave us that's over 300 pips right there, over 300 pips. Pips right there. Now I'm going to take that again. So if you look back at what happened here, September of 2024, this year, 1.325 is a significant resistance level for pounds USD. Okay. And then fast forward to September of 2024, price closed above that resistance, turning it to flipping that level to support. All right. But we found resistance at 1.34, and then price closed back inside of 1.325. And that gave rise to this aggressive sell-off all the way to 1.22. All right. And then fast forward to April of 2025, here we saw a similar pattern. All right. Closed back above 1.325 and then back below it as well. So this could have been a fake out that could have given rise to yet another aggressive sell-off. But in this case, if you look at the next candle, it was a bullish engulfing candle. All right, it was a bullish engulfing candle, taking price back above 1.325. And this bullish engulfing candle at that time was our trigger to long pounds USD above 1.325 support level. That gave rise to over 300 pips movement. Okay. Now, currently, price is now above 1.344 resistance. If you look back here, it was 1.344 that resisted price. It was 344 that resisted price right there. And then right here as well, it's 344 that resisted price. So what this means is that we could also see a potential pickup here. What does this mean? For pounds USD, if this is going to play out as a fake out, we now need to see price go back below 1.344. Now, of course, typically mentioned fake outs a few times on this forum as well. Mentioned fake out on this forum as well. And I explained that it occurs or it happens when price breaks above or below a key level. That's one. Only to reclaim it very quickly, just like in the two examples that I've cited. All right. Here, closed above 1.325, which is a key level, and then closed back below 1.325. So this here is a fake out at the time it happened. Fast forward to here, closed above 1.325 again, closed back below it with this long green candle. But interestingly, next candle after that gave us a bullish engulfing candle, and then that gave rise to a 300 pips move right there. Okay, so this 1.344 resistance to price is now above it, which automatically flips this level to support. Okay, so if we now see price close back below 1.344, then all of the price here would be a fake out, and then that may also give us to an aggressive sell as well. Okay, so I'll be watching these two very closely. I'll be watching these two very, very closely. Okay, so for pounds USD, what it means is that above 1.344, it is bullish. Above 1.344, this is the daily time frame. Again, remember we use the daily time frame as our anchor chart. I believe it's the best place to start so that you can understand and determine the trend and also important support and resistance levels on this time frame. And then you can switch to a much lower one for entry opportunities. All right. So for pounds USD, the conclusion is that above 1.344, it is bullish. Okay, above 1.344. So currently, we're seeing a retracement. This is the 1 hour time frame. This is what it looks like on 30 minutes. Okay. Hold on, let me take out this watch, and then I go back to 30 minutes. Okay. All right. So we have this on 30 minutes. We have this on 30 minutes time frame. Okay. So on this 30 minutes time frame, if we now see a close below this level, right? you see it close below this level. Now, when we switch to the 30-minute time frame, we can also see this key level right here, right? Impacting price multiple times here as resistance, here a few pips we here as support, here resistance here as well, a few pips right there, and then also see this confluence of support right here. Okay, so from this current level now, if you see price close below this support, then it may be gearing up for a much deeper pullback. Okay, maybe gearing up for a much deeper pullback. So if price close below this level, maybe an ideal time to go in for a sell. But if we do have or we do get some bullish pattern from this level, all right, we get some bullish reversal patterns from this level, then that will be my trigger to £1 USD to get some bullish patterns at this current level. But again, don't forget, like I said, it closed below that, maybe gearing up for a much deeper pullback. Gearing up for a much deeper pullback. Okay, very good. I will be just on time. I'm going to come back to USD CHF and a few other ones. But like you said, let's quickly check out what we have on board. This is daily. This is the daily time frame for gold. Of course, has been pretty much bullish thanks to all the uncertainty that we have going on, right? Now, here we also see this bullish flag as well. I'm going to highlight it so it's more obvious. Okay, so we see price respecting this channel, resistance here, support here, resistance here, support here, and then finally broke above the trend line resistance. Okay, we tested it as support, and then here we see a move higher. Okay, we see a move higher. Right, see a move higher right there. Now, if you remember this trend line here, I'm going to change the color. Let's see green. Yeah, let's see green. And then let's make it thicker. Okay. Now, if you remember this, that particular trend line on the 4 hours time frame, there was a particular time that we traded head and shoulder pattern 4 hours. Okay, traded head and shoulder pattern. Just follow me. I'm going somewhere. This fed right here. Left shoulder back here. Then the right shoulder here at that time. Okay. Now, for this to play out, head and shoulder pattern, of course, we needed to see a break of the neckline. And then at this time, the neckline, we highlighted the neckline with this trend line right here. See, here as resistance, here as support, here as support. So it was when we saw this break below the neckline that it was good for a sell, all right? It was good for a sell. And if you watch that, it's close to over 300 pips right there. You know how gold can be very, very profitable. Okay, so it broke below that trend line, which represented the neckline for that head and shoulder pattern at the time. Okay, now fast forward to what we currently see, the same trend line. All right, the same trend line that was the neckline for that head and shoulder pattern is now acting as resistance for price right here. Okay, this is the reason why sometimes I don't like taking out trend lines and horizontal lines on my chart. I like to keep them there because it also has the potential to impact price in the future. All right, and see how this has played out. Now, even here, it's acted as resistance for price, and here as well as resistance for price. Okay, so what does this mean? What does this mean? So currently we see a pullback. All right. Currently we see a pullback. Okay. Now, to what extent do we expect this pullback to go? To what extent do we expect this pullback to go? This is 4 hours time frame, right? This is 4 hours time frame. So below, initially this level was resistance. This level right here was resistance. Price broke it here aggressively, but was quickly rejected by that same trend that I just highlighted. And now price is back below that resistance. So this level again is acting as resistance for price. All right. This is 4 hours. Let's turn down to maybe 30 minutes to see what we have. Okay, so on 30 minutes time frame, price is currently trading below the 50-period moving average, which signifies weakness. It signifies weakness. All right, below the 50-period moving average. All right. So as it is right now, this will be fantastic for a sell. This may be fantastic for a sell. It's below this level, which initially was a critical resistance level. The price closed above it, but quickly rejected by this same trend line. That was the neckline of the head and shoulder, as I just highlighted. All right. So currently it's trading below this resistance. Okay. So what is going to turn this into a bullish scenario? Now, if we get a close back above that resistance, we get a close back above that resistance. As it is right now, it's currently weak. It's below the resistance and again below the 50-period moving average. Okay. So as a more conservative trader, I need to wait for a much bearish pattern. Okay, we need to wait for a much bearish pattern, especially on this 30 minutes time frame. Okay, on this 30 minutes time frame, I just need to see some more bearish confirmations from the current level. Okay, from the current level, and then I can expect a much deeper pullback, a much deeper pullback. Again, what is going to invalidate this would be if we now see a close back above that resistance. Okay, then the bearish that we have will be invalidated. That's for gold. A trend line from the top of 4 hours. Okay, let's see that. So I'll go back to 4 hours. Okay, I can take this out. So let's see if we get a trend line here. If we connect it this way, prices are above that trend line. Yeah, if we connect it this way, prices are above that trend line. So this trend line here may now act as support for price. All right. Remember, from the current level, because of that resistance here, we're expecting price to pull back. All right, expecting price to pull back. So this may now act as support for price for that pullback. Okay, so below 3364 resistance level, it's weak. Like we confirmed on the 30 minutes time frame, it's weak below that resistance and it's below the 50-period moving average. All right, so we can expect a much deeper pullback all the way to say the top of this trend line and then around the 320 support level. Okay, we expect that pullback to go all the way to that level. Again, don't forget, like I said, if price takes out that resistance, that is close back above that resistance, then that would be bullish for gold. That would be bullish for gold. Okay, so let me see who I highlighted that for us. Edgy, yeah, for Edgy. That's quite a good one, right? That's quite a good one. So as it is now, we now have an expectation for that bearish move. Now have an expectation for that bearish move thanks to this trend line that we have right here. Okay. US 100, US 100. Okay, let's check out what we have. US 100. Okay, for US 100, this level here is still our support level, but it's been a struggle, all right? It's been a struggle. It's almost stayed on the same spot since the last time we were here, all right? It's almost stayed on the same spot right here, okay? Since the last time we were here, it's been on the same spot. Now, remember how when we got this break above 19,500 here, I was telling us that as long as it stays above 19,500, it has the potential to push higher at that time, okay? Even though we got some period of consolidation back here as well, right? Even though we got some period of consolidation back here as well, but eventually it pushed higher, all right? So right about now, we're seeing yet another period of consolidation right here, okay? So above 21,000 is still bullish, above 21,000. Now, this is the daily time frame. What this also means is that we're looking for opportunities to buy as long as price is above 21,000 support level. Okay, so that's the daily time frame. That's the direction that we're interested in trading. Remember, I said that we use the daily time frame for it's like our anchor chart where we get the key levels, okay, the key support and resistance levels, all right, and then we tune down to 30 minutes or any other time frame of interest for entry opportunities, all right. Let's introduce moving average to see what we can. Okay, brilliant. So as it is now, price is on the 50 period moving average. Okay, it's on the 50 period moving average. So, for instance, at this current level, which is the 30 minutes time frame, if you get a bullish reversal pattern right at this level on this 30 minutes time frame, that would be the trigger to long. All right, that would be the trigger to long US 100. Okay. Remember, we started from here, from the daily time frame. We're not just longing blindly or buying blindly. We started from here. On this time frame, which is the daily time frame, our anchor chart, it is bullish, all right? And then it's recently taken out the 21,000 resistance levels. If you look back, you'll see why that level is quite significant, okay? So at the same 21,000 level, even right here as well, and here as well. So that 21,000 level is significant. And above that, it's acting as support. So for that reason, we're interested in buying until we see it close back below 21,000 level. All right. So we're interested in buying. Okay. So with that in mind, we then switch to 30 minutes time frame to look for the most ideal level for a buy, all right? And then coincidentally, on the 30 minutes time frame, price is now back at the 50 period moving average, okay, which is support, which is acting as support for price, okay? So the other confirmation we now need is to then see a bullish pattern, all right? Is to see a bullish pattern on this 30 minutes time frame. So that will be our trigger to go in for a buy, right? To go in for a buy. Okay, so Victor says there is head and shoulder go 30 minutes. Okay, let's see that. We have that on 30 minutes. Not quite. This will count for the heads, all right? And then maybe this for the left shoulder. Okay, and then here. Now for me, I would prefer the right shoulder to be inside of this range. Okay, I would prefer the right shoulder to be inside of this range for it to qualify as head and shoulder pattern for me. I prefer it to be inside of this range. All right. But however, you can also connect this trend line. Yeah, so it's going to take a close below that trend line, a close below the trend line to uh, give us more bearish confirmation, especially on this gold, okay, especially on gold. So back to US 100, I believe we've concluded here. On this time frame, we now wait for a bullish confirmation at this current level to trigger our buying entry for US 100. Okay, what else did I miss? DE40. Let's see. Where I have pounds JPY as well. Okay, let's hope we get to it. All right, this is daily time frame, DE40, course of a bullish. Let's see the position of the moving average here. Okay. So for DE40, it's bullish, no doubt. It's bullish. And then what that means is that we're interested in buying. Okay, we're interested in buying. And then this is daily time frame. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, on 1 hour. Okay, so on 1 hour we have this key level on 1 hour time frame. And then we can see how price tested that key level and it's now beginning to push back up. Okay, so this is 1 hour, 30 minutes now. Okay, so on this 30 minutes time frame, we now need to see get some bullish confirmation from this key level. All right, need to get some bullish confirmation from that key level to go in for a buy first, to go in for a buy for the E40. So I have pounds JPY as well, pounds JPY. Let's see what we have there. Pounds JPY daily time frame. Let's make this a round figure. 190. Okay. Then another one up here. Let's make this a round figure as well. 199. Okay. All right. So, of course, this is quite choppy, not very fantastic to trade, quite choppy. See how we have uh, this consolidation between 199 and 190. Okay. So let's see. But however, even in the midst of the consolidation, you can still see opportunities, all right? So this pushed higher recently, this pushed higher, signifying strength. So let's put another line there. Okay. And then see this pullback right here, all the way to this level. And that level too is quite significant. 192.5. Here, 192.5 as well. Here as well. Trying to see if we have more touches. Okay, right here as well, 192.5. Okay, that's sufficient. Okay, so price has not yet tested the 192.5 right here. Okay, so still has the tendency to push back to 192.5, and then at that 192.5 is where we watch for a buy. All right, so that's the daily time frame. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so for me, I'll be looking towards this level for my buy. I'll be looking towards this level for a buy. Okay, and if it takes out that level, price takes out that level, then we see a much deeper pullback right there. We see a much deeper pullback because we also cannot ignore this move on the 1 hour time frame, that bearish move on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so that's what counts JPY. That's what counts JPY. Okay. So now let's go back to USD CHF. We have to quickly look at gold and the rest of those ones. Okay. Now, if you remember, we also had eyes on USD CHF for a while now. We had highs on USD CHF. Okay, I think it was this move right here, this bearish move right here that caught my attention. Yeah, this move right here. Breaking below 0.844 here, breaking below 0.844 here. Now, before this break below 0.844, price has stayed above that level for more than 10 years. It stayed above 0.844. You can check it, you can keep scrolling to check. It stayed above 0.844 for about 10 years. And then recently, we got it close below 0.844 right here. All right. And right about now, at this point, price closed back above 0.844, but we didn't see any sustenance right there. Okay. Ideally, price should have continued to push higher above 0.844, but that's not happened. It's now back at this level. Okay. Now, for this to get bullish for me, for this to get bullish, all right, I need to see price take out 0.82. That is price close below 0.82. Right. Before that, I don't want to put this. Before that, from this support, at 0.80, from this support, we see series of highs and lows. Okay. Came back to this level, pushed higher to give us a higher high, and then back here right now. Okay, so this level, as far as I'm concerned, this structure here is still intact as an uptrend. Okay, still intact as an uptrend, right, from this support level. Okay, so but of course I need additional confirmations. First of all, I need to see price close above 0.82 right here. This is USD CHF. Now, because USD is the base currency here, USD is the base currency right here. For this to go up, it means that USD must become stronger for that to play out. But if it plays out eventually, it's going to present because there is more room to the upside. All right. There is more space to the upside right here. So if I get that, I'll be very interested in trading USD switching. First, I need to see price take out resistance at 0.82. Okay. Let's see price take out 0.82. Right. Let me see the chart. Okay, we've already looked at pounds DPY, looked at DP40, gold, US 100. All right. I think that's about all. Right, that's about all. Okay, so this will be a good place to leave it for today. This will be a good place to leave it for today. Able to touch on quite a number of assets for trade opportunities. We have the one that as soon as they play out, go straight in for buy or sell, and then we have some other ones that we're working for the rest of the week to see what we have to of those assets. All right. So it's been a wonderful session. Thank you very much for joining us on today's edition of the Morning Market View. Tomorrow, channel same time for another session. Thank you very much. I wish us a great trading day. All right.